Welcome everybody to this final conference of the Development Counts Data Skills for International Development Careers project. We're delighted to be joined by so many colleagues, students, lecturers, development professionals from right around the world. I think we have at least 25 countries represented amongst the people that have signed up for today's event. My name is Dr. Rachel Bennett from the University of Gloucestershire in the UK, and I've been leading this project in collaboration with colleagues at Gazi University in Turkey, the University of Malta and UNED in Spain, as well as colleagues here at the University of Gloucestershire. And I'm going to give you a bit of an introduction to the project, but before I do that, I just have a few points of housekeeping. We are recording today's session, so if you'd rather not appear in the recording, then please turn your camera and voice off. We have interpretation, so the speakers will be predominantly presenting in English, but we have interpretation through the little globe symbol at the bottom of your screen, and you can choose the canal you want to go into. So there is a Spanish translation and French translation for the first hour. So please do pick the language that's most suitable. And we would really welcome questions and comments throughout the whole event. Really interested to hear what everybody has to say about these topics. And by default, we would love if you could do that by using the hands up function in Zoom. So that should appear for you along the bottom of your Zoom screen as well. But if you do have problems with your connection, or you'd rather not come on audio, then the chat function is open and please do put comments there. But we'd really love to hear questions, comments as we go. There will be question and answer portions of the talks, but feel free to put comments, questions in as we go. So that's the housekeeping. A little bit more about the Development Counts project, what it's been about. Broadly, we've been looking at how to support the next generation of development professionals to harness the power of data for global and social good. And it's a project we conceived in early 2019, started late 2019 in the before times, the pre-COVID times, but it's evolved as we've run it through the last couple of years, through the height of the pandemic. And I think, if anything, the sorts of things we're trying to do in terms of upskill people around data, build confidence, enthusiasm for data, for making a difference for people's lives, has only become more relevant to the situation we find ourselves in today. So we started the project with in-depth interviews with development professionals in our partner countries, asking them about what data skills are needed in the sector currently and into the future. And we're immensely grateful for the people that took part in those interviews. That was happening March, April, May 2020, when we were all getting used to new ways of working. And we're really grateful to those professionals for coming on video calls with us and giving us those insights into the data skills needed in the sector. And it's those insights from interviews that went on to shape the whole project design. And we're really delighted that so many of the people who gave us their time to talk to us about data skills and development have been able to join us for this event, either as panelists or as guests in these sessions. So if you're one of those interviewees, thank you very much again, and it's great to have you here with us. So that was the start of the project. And then we moved into a second phase where we were trying to come up with a new data skills program in order to address the needs that we found out about through those interviews. So we've developed that over the last couple of years, tried and tested with learners at our own universities. And this program is now available on our website for other universities, interested individuals to make use of. And I'll be explaining a little bit more about them and how to use them at the very end of today's conference. But before we get to that, we've got a fantastic set of sessions lined up for you, featuring two panels and a keynote from Professor Sabina Leonali from the University of Essex. The event has been expertly put together by our team at UNED, led by Dr. Tatiana Eremenko. And I'm now going to hand over to the Vice Dean of Research at the Faculty of Political Science and Sociology at UNED, who is Juan Ignacio Martinez Pastor, who is going to give us a few words of welcome from UNED.
Yes, thank you very much, Rachel. Well, I will speak for a minute, and welcome to this virtual Faculty of Political Science and Sociology of the National University of Distance Education of Spain. I'm Juan Ignacio Martinez, the Vice Dean of Research, and it's an honor to welcome you to this final conference of such an important project as development counts, and moreover on such a fundamental topic as data skills. I think that one of the main missions of the university in any field, but I would say especially in social sciences, is to teach how to handle data and to teach our society and our students how to distinguish between valid data and false data. In my courses on data analysis and interpretation, I always tell my students that when they see a social statistic, they should ask themselves where the data comes from and how it has been calculated. We know that in the information society, that data becomes the empirical argument to support a certain knowledge. Often, we don't take a step in life without being informed by the most reliable data possible. That is why I insist it's necessary to distinguish and create truthful data collected and analyzed with rigor and equanimity, as opposed to dubious and manipulated data. And this is why this project is so necessary, and this final conference is so interesting. So please enjoy it. I don't want to take up any more of your time, so I give the floor to my dear colleague, Tatiana Eremenko.